Lucas from Jewelry by Roz, and I am going to do an instructional video on how I fire and polish my precious metal clay pendants or charms. So here is an example of one, and I always feature them on a crocheted necklace that I also crochet. So I will do another video that explains the process of how you get the clay to roll it, cut it, stamp it, shape it, and everything, and then let it dry. I'll do another video of that. This video will take from where the clay pieces are already dry, and I'm going to file them to clean them up, and then fire them, polish them, oxidize them, and polish them again. So the pendants or charms have been cut, stamped, and dried overnight, and now I take a fine sandpaper and clean the edges to make them smooth and file away any scratches or imperfections that might be on the piece. I use a small round file to clean the holes where the jump ring will eventually go through. Now I have the firing ready to go. I'll do one pendant at a time, and I use my butane torch. I do this in the kitchen so I can use the extractor fan. It's important to move the torch in circles all around the clay piece. If you stay in one position for too long, the piece can melt. You can see the piece catches on fire. Don't worry, this is normal. The non-silver is burning off. And once this happens, you want to keep an eye on the piece because it'll start to turn a glowing salmon color, and it's at that point you want to set your timer for 3 minutes of torching. Here you can see the piece is buckling. That means it's shrinking. It will flatten. So now you can see the salmon color, and I've set the timer for 3 minutes. Make sure you keep doing the circular motion while you fire. It's also good to do this in low light so you can see that the color is happening. You want to make sure you use tweezers to move the piece because it will be very hot. And when putting the next piece down, still use the tweezers because the brick will also be very hot. So you can see the non-fired piece versus a fired piece. You can see the fired piece is smaller and has a white sheen to it. So this is when I start the first polishing process with my metal bristle brush, and I brush it in smooth motions all over the piece, and it will take away the white and show you the silver. So here is a non-brushed piece versus a brushed piece, the white versus the silver. Now that they've all been brushed and polished and fired, I'll put them in my tumbler. The metal beads that you see in the tumbler are called shot. That's what rubs against the pieces while the container is tumbling, and that's what helps to polish the pieces. And they'll get extremely shiny. So I place each one in there, and then I'm going to put some water in, and you want to fill the water to about 1 inch above the line of the shot. And then the next step is to put in some Dawn dishwashing liquid. Dawn is the best one to use, maybe 2-3 drops. This also helps with the polishing. So you're going to shut the lid and put it on the belt, your 2 containers, and plug it in and leave it there for 3 hours. After 3 hours, you can turn it off and gently remove the lid to break the seal. And you'll be able to see your shiny pieces. So I strain the container that contains the shot and the silver pieces into a strainer over the sink, but make sure you don't lose any of your shot because it is quite expensive. I'm going to empty the strainer and the shot and the pieces onto a towel so you can spread out the shot and let it dry for the next time you want to polish some pieces, and you'll see all your pretty little pieces all shiny. There you go. So the next step is to oxidize or blacken them. I use ammonia, teaspoon of ammonia, quarter teaspoon of liver of sulfur. In water, I have a bowl of water to rinse and a bowl of water with club soda to stop oxidizing. So I put mine on some silver wire. So I'll dunk it into the liver of sulfur and hot water mixture. You want to leave it in for a little while, but not too long. But periodically take it out to check on the progress. So the pieces will change color from like a golden color to rainbow to gray and then to black. And I like to get them pretty black, but that's up to you. You can stop the process wherever you want to. I rinse it off in the water, and then I submerge it in the water and baking soda to stop the process. And there you go. So the next step is to polish them. We have your black piece. I use a polishing cloth, and I rub most of it off at this point, but I also will use a Dremel and polishing cloth to really get all the fine pieces and areas really shiny. So you'll see that it will become silver again, the piece, but in the impression of the stamp, it will stay black where it was oxidized. So here's the Dremel, and there you go. All done. There's your finishing project. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you.